Hi, Assalamualaikum. Good morning, everyone. So, my name is Muhammad Talha Dibekari Hafiz. My ID number is PDL 2402027. Now, I'll be talking about how government measure inflation using Consumer Price Index or CPI with a quick reference to Malaysia latest inflation forecast for 2025. So, now, what is inflation or CPI? First, let's start with the basics. Inflation is a rate which the general level of price for goods or service rises, leading to a decrease in purchasing power. To measure inflation, government use the Consumer Price Index or CPI. CPI tracks change in the price of a fixed basket of goods and services commonly used by households, like food, transport, housing, and healthcare. So, who collects the data in Malaysia? In Malaysia, this job is done by the Department of Statistics Malaysia or DOSM, not by Negara Malaysia, although DNM uses this data to guide monetary policy. Every month, DOSM collects thousands of price from retail outlets, supermarkets, market and service providers across urban and rural areas. Now, the CPI basket. The CPI is based on a basket of hundreds of items divided into 12 main categories, including food and non-alcoholic drinks, housing and utilities like transport, healthcare, and education. Each item is weighed based on how much an average household spend on it. This weight are updated periodically through a household expenditure survey. Now, how inflation is calculated? Once prices are collected, DOSM compares the current price to those from a base year. The percentage change is calculated, and that's how inflation is measured. For example, if the CPI increased by 12%, it means price on average are 12% higher than a year ago. Malaysia 2025 Outlook Real. Example, let me briefly connect this to a recent article on Malaysia inflation. Bank Negara Malaysia expect inflation in 2025 to average between 2.0% and 3.5%. This projection include factors like targeted RON 95 per subsidies and expanded sales and service tax, minimum wage implement in question 3 of 2024, inflation remains stable at 1.9%, even though diesel price rose by over 20% due to subsidy cuts. This shows that the government is watching specific items closely to understand broader price trends. Why it matters? Understanding how CPI is measured is important because it helps the government adjust wages, subsidies and taxes. It also helps Bank Negara decide on interest rates, and it all affect all of us from the cost of groceries to our future salaries. To wrap up, the government measures inflation by collecting monthly price data through the CPI. This index reflects how everyday price change and is a vital tool for economic planning and policy. Thank you for listening.